Welcome to the first episode of the Realization Experiment, where me and Saurabh are trying to, have a conversation of our realization experiment. So, starting with Saurabh, do tell us how and in general what is realization for you.
So basically, for last 4 years, it has been very transformative experience for me. It is just because I have got to know certain meditative process, and that process has opened up, so many new experiences and so many situations where I can, have a control over around, various things. And this is where I got to know more about the process of realization, that I have realized the truth about various situations, people, processes, etc. And this is what I will think of realization for me. So when I compare the current situations or current experiences that I'm going through right now, and when I compare this to uh, my past experiences, let's say while when I was in college or when I was in a school, right? So there is one similarity, that I was always trying to find answers to the so many questions that I have had in my mind, and the only thing is, earlier it was very unconscious, okay, and
Okay.
now I have realized that you can be, you can realize these things with a very conscious approach, and for a human being, this is a very natural process. Because we have so many distractions around us, things have been bit, uh, let's say disturbed in everyone, and that's why people are, sometimes they realize things unconsciously, and most of the time, they are not even, they don't even understand there is a process of realization. This has happened me in terms of business, in terms of personal life, in terms of the way I talk to people, or in terms of the way I explore the whole world.
Okay.
So this is my understanding or experience with realization. And I would like to ask to you, Mahesh, how was, I mean, did you also have experience with realization while building your business, and how was it too? Like, can you just please
If I talk very briefly about my realizations, so basically I'm a civil engineer. I pursued my civil engineering diploma and degree, and at that point of time, many of our audiences might be relating to me, wherein you are tend to do competitive exams, wherein I was introduced to MPSC, and at that phase, I understood general studies very well. Then I realized, okay, how to grow yourself in general. But MPSC was not my cup of tea, so eventually I was introduced to content creation. While doing that, I used to think, okay, चलो कैमरा ले लिया, निकल गए बाहर, shoot कर रहे, making videos. No, it's a process to make it happen. Even while building my company, initially I had only 50,000 rupees. In last 2 to 3 years, we clocked around 5 crore rupees, and majoritarily it happened. Initially, I was thinking, कि अच्छा, okay, let's do a step-by-step process of building the company. I met different people. I understood, okay, the process of building the company. But still, again, uh, why we are growing right now? We are still growing. I will not say, okay, we had reached to the peak. Around 20 to 30% of entire profits are given to our employees or the team members that we work together. So again, realization take over businesses, we grow as our team grows. So that kind of realization I understood. Previously I used to think कि बोलते हैं ना कि अपुनिश भगवान है. It is not the case while building a good company that really thinks about customer. So this is my take on realization while building a company. Is it works on a team building activity, not as an individual money making activity. So this was how I can talk about realization journey. I would love to know your business sort of realization while building your company.
So, when everything started, when my business started. So, initially, I had a couple of years of experience as a data scientist, and while working in various companies or while working with various people, I have realized that data science in India has lots of potential, data science or AI, right? And both in education as well and in your industries as well, where they will AI solutions will automate many processes and it will help to increase efficiency and ROI as well. So this is one key realization I had while working in some company, and that helped me to start with my own startup or to my own business, right?
Okay.
So, because I was working in more of a tech space, I never had exposure to the business space. I knew few people in the business area, but I never had an exposure towards various processes like sales, marketing, or even the core process of business building, right? And when I started, it was all blank for me. The only thing that I had in my mind, it was the vision, like what I'm going to do and how the money will be generated, right, throughout my business offerings. This was the only key thing that I have had in my mind. There was no business plan as such, right? And I never also wanted to, read something about how to build business and all. I tried that, but because the thing is, to understand something, you have to be in that process, right? You cannot just read about things and uh, build something around it. Maybe you will be able to build a structure around it, or maybe you will be able to do few processes around it. But to understand something, you have to be in that process. So this was something at the back of my mind while building or while starting the machine learning company. So when it started, I knew about, I had clarity about situations, right? So as I told you, like because of certain meditative practices that I do, this thing is being generated, the clarity and the sense of understanding the surrounding and atmosphere, right? So because of that, I was very clear with the processes that I had to do, right? So initially, I initiated, few offerings. I posted on social media, and things went really good. Like because, as I told you, I was very clear with understanding people and situations, right? Now, as things started to take a speed or pace up, right? Then many things things started to happen. For example, when you have initially, let's say, 2 to 3 people in your company, and now when you try to grow your team, right? Responsibilities increases again. Same goes with when you are having lots of customers in, if your business is in B2C or even in B2B, right?
Right.
Many responsibilities come up, and that is where you need realization. That is where you have to make sense out of the surrounding, and this is where I have realized that okay, let us first understand about how I am functioning, how my body, mind is functioning. Then let us try to understand how other people are functioning, how to maintain relationships, how to maintain business relations, personal relations, etc. And this was the experience. It was a holistic experience where I have realized about business processes, as I told you, like sales, marketing,
Understood.
then humans as well, right? Because humans are the center of everything that we
Right.
do, right? Yeah, that's all about my experience or realization of business, right?
Okay.
So I would like to ask you, like, which is your favorite activity and what realization you have had with your favorite activity?
So, being very candid to you, and if we talk about activity as such, so over the period of time, I realized traveling is something wherein I seek, or I am a lot of curious to know things. So I had that agenda every like 100 days I have to travel a destination. Maybe it might be India or out of India. I travel for at least 6 to 7 days every 100 days.
Nice.
And first experience that I had was in Vietnam. So I was traveling with one of my friend. Let's say कि okay चलो देखते हैं क्या है monuments, culture, different things. But practically, if you see Vietnam in general, सबसे ज़्यादा wars वहाँ पे हुए. Even after the wars, they had internal wars with different communities over there. And this is what I had read in news or in some blog articles. When actually I was there, then I realized, okay, what things might have happened here. So again, the factor of realization, wherein understanding it more better when you experience it practically. Moreover, traveling is not just for Instagram photos, social media, reels, and so on,
Right.
but it's all about that experience I had. Reading those articles, seeing that videos that what things might have happened over there. There is a big war happened, then I'm at that situation and I can feel the pain, wherein what kind of things might have happened over here. So, practical experience is a must in the process of realization. Moreover, imagination is the factor wherein you start thinking about it, and practical attempting it or doing it practically gives you the entire experience of realization. So this was one of the activity that I do for realization. Moreover, it gives you understanding what kind of business is also happening over there. So all the aspect, cultural, finances, economy, or how the youth is building that nation, specifically Vietnam. Why I say Vietnam again? Because if you see as a case study, even after a lot of wars and conflicts in the country, still they are growing together. So I realized, okay, in India also we are growing rapidly for last 2 3 years, and we have a lot of opportunities. So yeah, this is the activity I do in general, just to realize what is happening around me or around our nation. So I will pass on the same question to you. What kind of activity you do to seek realization?
Right, right. So, one realization that I have had recently, very recently, about the activities, right? So, the experience of activities, it basically enhances with the, with one thing, that how intensely your involvement is there in the activity, right? No matter if you are studying, if you are playing soccer, or even if you are, doing your job, talking, etc. The basic thing is how intensely you are involved in that particular activity, and that enhances your experience, right? So this is very recent realization that I have had.
Okay.
Now, when I again relate my previous past life with this experience, what I'm trying to say here is, when I was studying, for preparing for some exam, so I was doing the work, but I was not totally involved in it. But when I'm playing my favorite activity, let's say sports, I mean football, right, or soccer, so I am like totally involved in it, because I want to do various skills, I want to score goals and all, I want to run, I want to, make sure that I'm doing my 100%. So that sort of emotion automatically comes, into the activity. Now, I have played a lot of football when I was in my college and all, and it gave me a sense of different type of experience, where something very energetic it started happening in my body, where I could run more, I could maybe experience everything around it in very blissful way, right? But while having other activities, let's say studying, or maybe talking to people which are not interested, where I am not interested into, right? So in those activities, I used to feel very kind of having a boredom, or I'm not able to really immerse myself into those activities. So such type of experience or realization I have had with my activities, that it all depends on how intensely you are immersed into your activity, right?
Right.
And this is what I could think of it. Yeah. What is your experience of realization with people? What, while building the company, you might have came across so many people, like the people that you work with, the customers, and even various stakeholders. So what did you find out?
So while growing, or you can say experiencing to meet people, basically. So I had closely worked with many celebrity managers, and I was always curious, अरे क्या होता होगा, कैसा होगा, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. So, but I understood, even if we say we are into a democratic nation, people always think, okay, there is a certain zone, or a comfort level an individual wants to sit. Even into your day-to-day life, if you see, there are few calls you want to pick up, there are few calls you don't want to pick up, even if that is much important call. You will say, I was busy, I was driving, and so on. So while meeting different kind of people, 2015-16, wherein I almost got introduced to around 100 to 200 people, 150 200 people. I used to meet them individually, and just have a talk into a different level, just to understand what their psychology is. So what I did personally, I used to DM on Instagram to any random celebrity, any random business founder or co-founders, just to have a talk what I do, and just to brag about me, who I am. Then I realized, okay, there are certain set of peoples who wants to talk to you. Uh, the intention of having that discussion is to get business, or how they can take out money from me. So those kind of people, I realized, okay, we are meeting, we are having discussion, but there is nothing for me. I help out few people to just for the sake of giving it back. Okay, so he will be happy with connecting to different peoples. But the most important part, what I realized while meeting people, was what kind of value addition I can do to them, what kind of value addition I can do to them in general, and whether it might be taking one of my friend from location A to B while I'm trying to travel into the same location, or helping my friend or unknown to build their brands in general. Somewhere I feel, if you have that positive approach of handling people, or doing it for people, will somewhere help out in your sense, wherein you know even you as a person want to grow, even you as a person want to achieve different level. You need people understanding with respect to growing each other. So that is a point wherein while having a conversation with people, I realized, okay, it should be more centric to their needs rather than what I need from them. So eventually I met a big brand owner, and I said, okay, this is how you will achieve profits while doing this activities. So I have this kind of skill sets to help you to achieve to a different level.
Right.
Then that conversation was more fruitful. Previously, what I used to do, okay, meeting mil gaya, we are meeting in their office, I am giving presentation, then there are no calls. Then I started thinking in a reverse way. Okay, what that brand owner might need. When I started thinking in that direction, then it was a game changer.
Right.
So, for example, there was one client, I wanted to make a website. Rather than pitching them to, okay, these are the scope of work, this is how we are going to design, this is the charges, I made the entire website for him.
Right.
And I went to him and said, this is the website, how it has to be, shown to your brand community. And eventually it got converted.
Right.
So it totally depends how you want to approach. But I personally feel is, while having conversation with people, you should always think in their perspective how they will get the benefit with your conversation, whatever you're doing. So, passing on to you again, you meet a lot of people. I had seen your social media posts. You do, some lectures, or you basically you talk to many people. So, what is your take on realization with respect to people?
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to people, right? It's all about establishing good relationships, right? Now, when you look at any relationship, right, it involves transaction, right? There is a certain amount of transaction, not always about money, not always about some real world things, but again, you if it's your family, you have to be emotionally involved with them, right? You have to have that type of emotional involvement, and then you also have to think about various other aspects that you can fulfill, right? Same goes for the people that are involved in your company. You have to see them as if they are part of your own family. You have to take care of their various things, not just if you are just forcing them with your work and all, they will or they will not be able to do the work, right? But if you inclusively think of them as a part of your own, let's say, family or relevant area, then you will be able to see the things, or you will be able to look at the things in very holistic way, right? So this is what I have realized, even with the people with whom I am doing the business. So at the end, you have to fulfill their needs. At the end, you have to make them grow. From, let's say, the place they are right now to the place they want to be, or maybe they haven't imagined something right at that place, right? So this is what is the core of relation. You have to give value initially, right? And then the relations will build, and then again lots of effort to sustain those relations. So this is what I have realized about the people. Yeah. So this was the brief conversation between me and Mahesh about few realizations that we have had while growing up or building businesses, or even working with people, right? And again, this YouTube thing is again very new for us, and we are also yet to realize many facts about this whole situation, right? And but importantly, in the coming episodes, we are going to invite many wonderful people who have done great work in various areas like business, tech, self-help, and general growth. So we will try to understand various things. We'll try to realize various things about their own realizations, and yeah.
So do let us know whom you want us to invite in this experiment. You can comment down below. You can follow us on our social media handles. We are everywhere right now, and as Saurabh said, we are realizing how you guys will respond to us. So do comment down on every comment section on all the social media handles that we have. Stay tuned for more updates on social media, and do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.
Don't forget to press the bell icon.